Amanda Waller is getting ready to turn her rage towards the alien community of Parthis. Will Dreamer be able to save it? Or will it just be another casualty in Waller's own mad chase for power? Well, let's hop into the pages of Suicide Squad Dream Team issue number 3, the penultimate issue, and find out what happens next together, shall we? Alrighty then, so if the last issue of this team book was really Dreamer heavy, then this newest issue is actually pretty Squad heavy. We see Harley Quinn, Deadeye, and the others fresh off their last mission in Gamorra, once again being dispatched by Waller, this time to go to the city of Parthis and once again recapture Dreamer. Waller still believing Naya and her abilities to enter the dreams of others to be incredibly useful for her upcoming plans. Hell, as we hear from Clock King, who reads Naya's file, apparently she was given all sorts of crazy covert training thanks to Task Force X. She's also only 18 years old, which I found quite surprising, and she's also 6'7", which for some reason just seemed shockingly tall to me for a comic book character. I actually looked it up, and apparently Nicole Maines, the writer of this series, and of course the actress who played Dreamer on television, is 5'7", and I think it's very fun that she gave herself an extra foot here in the realm of comic books. I mean, I would do it if I was a writer, but I'm already 6'1". Naturally, Task Force X is pretty torn on this mission. They may only have had one outing with Dreamer, but they still see her as way more of one of them than they do Waller, who is naturally being her normal duplicitous self. In fact, we see her looking over her files, and she is very clearly looking at concept art for the Amazo robots that we're going to be seeing in Absolute Power. The same ones that the Batman of Zur-En-Augh is currently building over in the Batman book, so hey, you know what? Points for connective tissue, you always love to see it when you see it. By the time our team actually does manage to approach the alien city of Parthas, they find a bunch of the anti-alien agitators already incapacitated on the ground. It seems that Dreamer wasted absolutely no time defending her beloved community from these people. In fact, Deadeye actually walks away with probably the line of the issue, saying, "Oh no, we caught her in the middle of doing a Rambo." If she can pick these guys off one by one, it's only a matter of time before she starts picking us off one by one, and yes, their communication lines to Waller have been cut, meaning that for once, Waller can't see or hear what's going on with the rest of the team. Also, I am pretty sure we had that whole segment with Dreamer's file a minute ago, as to try and showcase just how powerful she's become in a very short amount of time, being able to actually stick in a fight with the likes of Outlaw Bizarro. And of course, Clock King, who she manages to take out in exactly one hit, because despite being an absolutely brilliant tactician, his bones are still soft and human. The most difficult fight for Dreamer to win is actually against Harley Quinn, because as you can remember, her and Harley had actually forged something of a bond during that first mission to Gamorra. Harley and the others admit that Dreamer is right, that Waller is evil more so now than ever, and that she probably should be stopped, but unfortunately this is the Suicide Squad and there are no happy endings here. You just don't get to give a little speech and win because you're a hero. That might work in your stories, but they don't work here in ours. Hell, Harley even says that she has more to lose in her own personal life than she ever has before. She's basically closer to a hero now than ever, with a loving girlfriend in Poison Ivy, students to call her own, but it also means that Waller is able to twist the knife even harder on her. Hell, even Deadeye and Tracy 13 agree with Naya in theory, it's just they're not willing to risk their own heads getting blown up to try and help her play superhero. Though, admittedly, even their own morality gets tested just a little bit when they see more of those anti-alien racists try and burn down the local school. Task Force X even taking a knee for a little minute there and letting Dreamer stop them. Naya has a great speech queued up about just how wrong and crazy this is, even by Suicide Squad standards. Waller was never a good person by any stretch of the imagination, but at least before there was something of a method to her madness. Now it seems like she's just doing stuff to be cruel. How does destroying a harmless, marginalized community actually make the country safer? Well, quite simply, it does not. It's here that Dreamer finally reveals everything she's learned from her vision and what exactly it is that Waller has been after this whole time. The Wall is trying to kickstart a war between those with powers and those without. That's why she's been undermining faith in the superhero community. It's why she's been attacking communities like the aliens here right now, all to try and draw focus from her real plan, which includes, get this, turning the now captured nation of Gamorra into one giant superhuman prison. A prison that Dreamer might very well end up seeing the inside of before anyone else, because as the comic comic comes to a close despite all of her pleading, Tracy 13 ends up knocking Dreamer out and getting her ready for pickup by Waller. And so that was Suicide Squad Dream Team issue number 3, everybody, and I gotta say I liked this issue a lot more than the one that preceded it, mainly because we actually got a much stronger focus on the team, and this is an interesting incarnation of the Suicide Squad themselves, ones where they actually aren't afraid to think a little deeper about everything that's going on around them. They know Waller is wrong, they know Dreamer is right, but at the same time they quite literally have a gun to their head and aren't sure what to do. Though perhaps Dreamer showcasing just how far Waller has gone will actually end up having an impact on members of her team. Deadeye himself says that people like his aunt only succeed because no one's ever really been brave enough to step in and try and stop her before, and while Dreamer can see the future, Waller is a chess master, who perhaps her greatest ability has always been to see several moves ahead, and now we have her and Dreamer stuck on this collision course with the ticking clock being, will Waller have to sleep at some point? This issue also ends up giving us some very important information for the upcoming Absolute Power event too, because now we know Gamorra is going to get turned into a super prison. In fact, we've already kind of seen that prison glimpsed all the way back in the backup story for the end of Lazarus Planet, which is cool to see that they planned it that far ahead. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7 out of 10, and I hope the finale can keep this sort of energy moving forward.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.